All dogs have a tale to tell. You can't always hear them, but they wag their tails.
Hi, my name is Mary, and I'm here to introduce you to Kirby. I first came upon Kirby about 6 years ago in Woburn. I almost ran over him with my car. Not a great way to come upon a dog, but I stopped my car. He had run in front of me near a parade route, and I stopped my car to try to catch him because he was trailing a leash. Obviously somebody lost him. So another stranger to the dog helped me kind of corner him and catch him because he was fast. He kept seeing me and then running away as soon as I was a few feet away because he was having a great time. So this other stranger and I managed to catch him, and the stranger just assumed that he was my dog. So there I was with his dog. A few minutes later, as I was headed down toward the parade route, a family ran up the street and said, "Oh, thank you so much for catching our dog. Thank you so much. We were running after him." And then we looked at each other, and the father of the family and I looked at each other and we said, "Oh, I know you." So he thanked me, and he and his daughter and his friends walked away, and I thought that was the last I'd see of Kirby. Well, I went in and got takeout food about a month or maybe two later and said, "Say, hey, how's the dog doing?" And he said, "Oh, my wife and I are splitting up. We're going to have to give the dog away because we just don't have enough hours in the day to take care of everything." So I said, "Well, if you're serious about it, here's my phone number. Call me and I'll take him," because my dog passed away a year before, and I promised my daughter we'd get another dog. So a month or so later than that, his wife called me and said, "If you're serious, we are going to give up the dog." So I went and picked him up in Lowell, and Kirby's lived with us ever since then. As far as his breed, he's when I first got him, I just thought he was the strangest looking mutt in the world, with huge ears, a beard, a fountain of hair coming off of his nose, and a mohawk. And he's shaped a little bit like a greyhound, but he's the size of a goat. So I used to call him a goat dog because I figured he was just a mishmash. So his breed was goat dog, until somebody stopped me on the street and said, "Do you know what kind of dog your dog is?" And I said, "Well, he's a goat dog. He looks like a goat." And she said, "Well, I think I know what he really is, and I think he's a Portuguese Podango." And I thought she was pulling my leg. I thought it was one of those things where you go home and that doesn't, look it up on the internet and it doesn't exist. But Portuguese Podangos are sort of the beagle of Portugal. They're hunting dogs going back to the time of Christ, and they do look a little bit like goats. They're also related to greyhounds. So he runs like a rocket, and he digs like an anteater. The dirt just flies up in the air. When he thinks he's smelled a mole or a rabbit or something, he's there. He's really an old man, and he has kind of set-in habits. He has his ways. He loves to go for rides in the car. He loves his beds. He has more than one bed, and his beds actually stay on my bed. So he's really fond of them. He's learned how to intensely look at me until I absolutely am forced to give him a treat. So he wills me to give him treats. He just has a lot of little small things, that sort of make his day. Kirby really enjoys his naps, and I think his naps are sort of his form of movies, because he has very vivid dreams. He often he whimpers and barks in his sleep, but he runs in his sleep a lot. In fact, he often wakes me up in the middle of the night because the bed's shaking because he's running after something in his sleep. And one of the young women that pet sat for me once when I was away recently photographed him on her phone and put it online for everyone to see. And it's Kirby in one of his oval-shaped beds, pushing the sides out over and over again, running. So he's pushing off with his back legs, and the bed stretches out, and then it goes back to its shape and stretches out again. It's pretty funny looking, but you can tell he is having the time of his life in his sleep. Kirby's funniest habit is that his teeth chatter when he's excited, and it can be over a treat or going for a ride in the car or anything. And he will just sit and stare at you like, I am so excited, I just can't stand it. And his teeth just, I can't imitate it, but it sounds like maracas. He was probably more fascinated with my two cats, who were already about 5 years old and horrified that I'd brought a new dog home. Kirby for probably the first, I don't know, several days at least, kept looking at me and looking at the cats as if he was waiting for me to give him the signal that it was okay to eat the cats. And of course the cats probably sensed that he was you know, a kind of a threat to them, but he never did anything to them. He kept looking for a signal. He kept looking at me as if, like, you know, I think it's fabulous that you've brought me a live lunch here, you know, and just set it right in front of me. But when, you know, do you have to eat first? Do you have to eat cat first, or do we both go at it at the same time? He's part of the family.